Hi class, we will be painting a 5-step grayscale, and the things that you're going to need for this project would be you'll need some rubber cement, you'll need a palette, a straight edge, or this is a triangle straight edge, a ruler, X-Acto knife, some little storage containers to save some of your paint because that'll be helpful. Rubber cement pickup, eraser, pencil, Winsor Newton gouache. This is lamp black and this one is permanent white. If you have these, that's great, but if you don't have them, you go ahead and use like whatever you have available, like charcoal or markers if necessary. And also you need some sable brushes or imitation sable brushes. This is a pointed round, and then this one is a small or skinny bright, and this is a bigger one. That's, I would say, it's like 3/4 of an inch. Let's see what else. Oh, and you should have a cutting board or a cutting mat. If you don't have a cutting mat, then use the back of a tracing paper pad because it's made out of cardboard and you won't do any damage to your dining room tables or whatever. Okay, so I think that's that for that part. Now you're going to need to get the Bristol paper. This is the sheet of the 9x12 Bristol paper. And I hope this shows up for you, but I marked off a grid so that we could paint 18 swatches. So there is going to be a gap from here to here of a 1/2 inch. From here to here, a 1/2 inch. So all the way around is going to be a 1/2 inch border. And then and this will be a 1 inch by 2 inch. This will be 1 inch by 2 inch, 1 inch by 2 inch, all the way down. And right here, these are all going to be 1 inch, 1 inch. And all of these are going to be the same as, 1 by 2s, 1 inch, and 1 by 2s. So that's the layout. I hope that you can see that. Okay, now for this part, I squeezed out the paint from my tubes directly into the palette, and I'm going to start with white, painting white, a white swatch. So therefore, I squeezed out a little bit more white. And the thing with gouache is that you can't paint with this stuff straight out of the tube because it'll flake off. So you're going to have to add a little bit water to it, and which is what I'm doing right now. I'm going to add some water. And then the question will be, well, how much water do you add? You add approximately, the consistency so that your paint will be like heavy cream. I hope you can see that. I added some water so it's not as thick. You don't want it to be watery because then it'll turn into like watercolor and you won't get the opacity or the flatness that we are really seeking on this grayscale swatches. Mix it thoroughly. I think that should be fine. What I can always do is I can double check myself on a piece of scratch paper. And that looks fine to me. I think that'll be perfect. So our first swatch will be white. And I'm wetting my brush just a little bit. And I'm going to dry it out because I don't want it sopping wet. And our idea is that we are going to paint every other swatch, every other area. So be painted, skip, paint, skip, paint, skip, paint, skip, paint, skip, paint. Okay? So what you do is you just load up your brush, load it up, and then you have pencil lines here, as you can see. The idea is to go beyond the pencil lines, and I'll show you why later. It'll make sense later. So you load up your brush and you go beyond the pencil lines, and then I'm rotating my brush. I'm rotating my brush as well. And I hope you could see this, but I'm starting and stopping beyond the pencil lines. Okay, I'm starting and stopping beyond the pencil lines because my goal is to create this flat. And so I'll try to get this closer to the, so you can see it. I hope you can see that. And then you could also tilt it at angles to see, use the existing light source to see if you have any areas that you've missed or areas that are like too thick. And when it's still wet, that's the time to correct it. Okay, I'm gonna stop this for a second. Okay, now I'm back. So I got the black paint squeezed out. I want to bring that into the white paint so that I could paint a very, 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 very light gray swatch. But if I bring this in to the white, I think it'll be too drastic. So what I do is I'll take some of this black and I'll bring it over here, and then I will definitely water it down. I hope you can see that. See, I'm watering it down. Then I'll bring a little bit of this into the white. Can you see that? There's just a little bit. I hope you could see that. Then I'm going to take another brush, small brush, and I'm going to mix it all together. I'll mix it all together, being very, very thorough on that. And I know that that value change is very subtle, but that's what you want. You want very, very gentle gradations because we want to paint at least 18 swatches. And then remember, this is the brush that had the white. Well, now I'm going to bring that into this one that has a little bit black in there. Make sure I get it mixed thoroughly. Very important that you mix it thoroughly. Okay, did that. Remember, we were going to paint every other area, so that is going to be skipped. We'll paint that one. And we go beyond the pencil lines. And then you rotate your brush. And then you rotate your brush. And if you notice any kind of thick areas, try to get rid of it. But never start and stop in the middle. Okay, I think that's done. Now I'm going to go to the next swatch, will be right here. And then I'm going to bring some of this black in here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, and then I'm going to mix it all together. This one I could definitely see a value change. Make sure you get everything. You don't want to leave any kind of like streak marks in your paint because it'll come out streaky on your swatch. Mix it very thoroughly. Then, remember this is the other swatch that we just painted. Got to mix it very thoroughly again so that we can proceed to the third swatch. Mix it very, very thoroughly. Okay, then skip that one, paint that one. I noticed that there was a little bit of some dust or something on there, so I had to get rid of it. Go beyond the pencil lines, rotate, rotate. Get rid of any kind of like weird stuff. And there is something weird there. There seems to be some kind of like a little piece of, I don't know what that is, like sand. So I could, sometimes with a little luck, I could pluck it off. Whoop. Well, I think you get the idea, but I'm just gonna leave that. I'll paint one more swatch for you folks. One more. Here we go. I'm trying to darken it up a little bit. And I can see that it has darkened in value. Very gentle steps. That's what you want. And by doing this grayscale, you're going to train your eyes to be very sensitive to the shifts in value. You gain a very sensitive appreciation. Okay. Then skip, paint. Go beyond the pencil lines, rotate, rotate. Okay, so that's 4. I'm gonna stop at this point to another part.